Let's talk about it.
No
This
filter.
pissed me the fuck out,
No
bro.
filter. That's just crazy. No filter is
Listen,
crazy.
he said her. Like, the fuck?
No filter is crazy. My bad.
That shit's fucking fire. That shit's fucking fire. We ready?
Your card went out after like 10 minutes, but I do one of mine and I started recording on mine. So,
I got a hole in my lip.
why do you put mine in and it's got like 40
At
minutes?
least I'm on wearing black.
I'll just.
That's normal.
Or you can pull up.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Talk about it. Yeah, either one. It don't matter. It worked for me though. Are you?
Can you hold this for me real quick? Thank you. I just want to fix my shirt. Oh, yeah. Somebody had tequila. Somebody had
Wait.
tequila.
It smells like. Oh, wait, is that?
That's what I'm saying.
No, listen.
What?
Listen. Everybody got normal. I'm about to call him right now. He's over there, but you're going to see me. No, look. I already
Okay.
told him I was going to be.
All right.
Listen, I already told him I was going to be meeting him. I already told him I was going to be the shot. Listen, watch.
At least one.
That looks good right there. I don't think so. That looks good.
Hi, so everybody
she
smelled
see?
my liquor.
Can she see?
And they would like a shot.
Can she see?
Yeah, especially the hoes.
Especially the hoes.
What?
Okay, thank you. I'll find it in the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, see on point amount. Not that shit. No, he doesn't tell me to.
Excuse me. Oh, yes.
And can we get a juice?
Are y'all sisters? Are y'all two? Are y'all related? Okay, okay, bet. I was just wondering.
Yeah. We'll get you a cup of ice. Okay.
Y'all remind me of my sisters. I have sisters like you guys. Like I have 4 of them, but yeah.
Yeah.
What you say?
No, I'm just talking to the audience.
You good?
I'm connecting. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know.
What
No,
you mean?
you good? No.
Oh, hold on.
I was just asking what you said. That's
All right,
it.
oh, my fault. No, I'm playing. No, I just asked them where they sit.
See,
where they
that's that
related.
ego shit we be talking about.
Okay, I was joking, but see, I'm playing. I'm joking.
See,
Okay.
and then like we were just
Okay.
talking about we were just talking about coming off aggressive, right?
I'm playing though. I reciprocated the energy and I gave it back. See, she was trying to check me. Like, it's cool though.
Right.
She said they were sisters.
I'll
She
just
said,
play with you.
all 3 of you guys are family? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you turn
Period.
it? Oh, never mind. Turn my music up, please. I'm just playing.
Mic check. 1.
I'm crying. No.
We ready?
Y'all having a good
got
time? Everybody good? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, see?
Hey.
This boy is nice.
That was the best thing to do.
Appreciate you, my G.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Why you left me hanging? That's
Hey.
crazy. Why you leave me hanging? No, I'm playing.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all good? Y'all got y'all drinks? Ooh, we got our hot seat questions. Y'all put a question in our hot seat? If you did, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate those who did. But we're going to get back into it because I really want to touch base on that. When you were speaking about how sometimes you feel like you were getting pushed out of your culture, that's what you were saying, right? Do you... I feel like we do that a lot. And look, I always speak from the black culture because that's the culture that I represent. So, but I want to know from everybody's. But what I was about to say is that I feel like we do that a lot in the black culture is push each other out. But you saying that and you're not black, you're Mexican. Do you feel like you guys do that a lot amongst each other? And for what reasons?
I don't know if it's the same type of sentiment for you, but it's like, I'm not Mexican enough. Like, I don't speak Spanish, so that's like a big one for you. Like, if you don't speak the language, like, I've had people say things to me like, oh, like, your mother doesn't love you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, because she didn't let you speak Spanish. Like, she didn't teach you? Like, does she not love you? And it's like a very cultural thing. Like, I grew up very white, you know what I mean? So that's also like another reason why. So it's like, I'll never feel, I think that there's this really great blend of people who are mixed that share the same like cultural feelings that other cultures go through. Because I've heard it from like the Asian community, I've heard it from the Native community, I've heard it from my community, where it's like, if you weren't brought up like that, you'll never be a part of that, no matter how hard you try. And that can be very disheartening. And that's like, I feel in my culture, like 70%.
See, that's crazy. It's more of like what you were taught and what you weren't taught, and what you demonstrate and what you don't demonstrate. As in the black, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in the black community, it's more of, I feel like, I was about to say, I want to get into colorism. I feel like that's huge. And so my question is, do you guys kind of push each other out based on colorism as well? Like, you're not brown enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the lighter skin. I've seen a lot of, my friends would call them like a gringa. I don't know if I said that right or not. I'm not trying to, like I said, but do you guys push, is there colorism that you experience in that too? Within your guys' culture too?
Yeah, I would just say, like, depending on what part of, like, Mexico you come from, too, because there are different standards, like, you know what I mean? Because of how, like, my nana was, like, really pale, like, red hair, green eyes, like, so when you live, like, in communities where they stereotype you, you know, one way, but that's actually, like, not your culture, you know what I mean? So it's a trip. I know what you're saying. There's really no hierarchy, like, I feel like amongst maybe like the black community, right? Because, you know what I mean, like, that's tight. You know, like, it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't live like in hierarchies, like within our families, so.
I'm gonna ask my panel really quick, but I like to be like real honest, like, and like here. So I think it's really crazy that when you went to go, I just want to know if anyone else felt this, and I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but when you went to go to try to explain, like, say, like, a hierarchy, and then like black culture shouldn't, like, I'm like, why are you about to speak on black culture? You know, but I'm over here speaking on your guys' culture. Do you know what I'm saying? But I was about to be like, girl, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's crazy. I just wanted to point that out, and I hate that, because you like, what? You were just talking about you know what I'm saying? Anyways, have you guys experienced any type of colorism within your guys' lifetime, or
All the
you know,
time.
even as men? I'm gonna ask the men. Go ahead, Prince.
For sure, the whole light skin thing, that is a big one for me. I've always dealt with, obviously, because I'm lighter, but I feel like, you definitely, in our culture, you get judged by. I feel like they seem like, okay, so the how it's viewed is light-skinned people are like that's the better one to be all the time. And I feel like, or we feel like we hold ourselves to a higher standard, or I think I'm this, so that's why I don't do this. So I've always dealt with a lot of like aggression from my own kind just because of the color of my skin. But when people actually get to know me and see what I'm about, you know what I'm saying, like, connect with me, vibe with me, they realize like, oh, he's really not like that. Or because, like, let's say like my Instagram, my social media, because how I take pictures or whatever, because I'm confident. Yeah, I think I look good. Yeah, for sure. I like the way I look. Yeah, like my mom was beautiful. My father is, but my mom, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, like, so I'm saying, like, because I look like my mom.
We gotta talk about that.
Oh, my bad. What?
Not to get out of serious stuff, but keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, I mean, I don't know my biological father like that, so I can't tell you. You feel me? So I can't answer that. That's why I said that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why I went to that. But yeah, so I feel like I definitely, and I feel like it's on this side too, like dark skinned men or women too, like dark skinned in our culture, they're attacked for a lot of different things. Like the whole bias is like, oh, people feel like I wouldn't talk to a dark skinned woman because of the color of my skin. When in actuality, my grandmother is dark skinned. And she's my best friend. Like, what are you talking about?
But would you
But
date?
I'm saying, but yeah, I would date. I love. I'm saying I like. I'm saying I like chocolate women. I like light skinned women too. I like all the colors of black women.
What about you? Have you experienced colorism or as you've grown up?
I feel like I'm like a regular skin nigga,
like chocolate.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say I'm dark skinned or light skinned.
See, but I hate that. Like, keep going.
But like, but for real though, like colorism is definitely rapid in the black community. So you're thinking about, first off, what we see, like the movies, the TV, and every light-skinned nigga was sensitive, was soft. You know, like that's just what it was.
Did.
Look, I'm speaking on the TV. I'm speaking on. Tell me who was the tough light skinned dude growing up. I don't know. Terrence Howard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. My man in the back. Yeah, hold
It's
it
hard
down.
out here for a pimp.
He said Lucius.
When you trying to get the money for the.
I'm gonna let y'all just stand on Terrence Howard. But anyway, just talking about the movies, the programming. We see dark-skinned men was more aggressive because that was something that even came from back in history with the slave masters and wanting to separate the men and even the families and that whole structure to where if we treated the light-skinned ones a little bit nicer, then the dark-skinned ones would be jealous of them so that they would never want to collaborate and uprise and go against us. And so that's where it started. Now it's to the point where a lot of people lean into it it's not just about me being beautiful, it's me being light-skinned, or it's not me just being beautiful, it's me being a beautiful dark-skinned woman. And I know a lot of dark-skinned women probably stand on that now because they didn't have that to stand on in the past, but it's still more of a competition than talking about just black beauty.
Right.
And it's all just loving what we look like. So I don't think it's by accident, by no chance.
It's what we see. It's what's taught to us. Have you experienced colorism?
I mean, honestly, it's not like up for me to decide what somebody looks at and like thinks when they see me. So I guess you can say I have. I'm sure there's people who probably have looked at me and been like, oh, what are you mixed with? Like, that's the favorite question. I'd be like, I'm black. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, my mom is black, my dad is black. Like, I feel
Why do I
like
have
when
to
I
be
talk,
mixed?
yeah, and that's kind of more so something that like I've had to always explain to people too. Like, why does somebody to have a certain type of like texture of hair, like why do they have to be mixed? Like,
Right.
why does somebody who carries themselves a different way, for example, why do they have to be mixed? I've gotten things like that before too. More honestly, I've probably gotten like, and I'm sure ladies know what I'm talking about. It's a genre. It's a genre. Pretty privilege. It's real. Like, and it's real. Like,
Yeah.
it's real.
Speak
So
on it.
I've probably experienced that honestly a little bit more than like colorism firsthand, simply just because like,
You're pretty.
thanks, girl, but just it's like it's one thing to just to know, like even just with I guess the type of industry that I'm in and for work purposes, like I know. So I have a modeling agency. I think I talked about that when I introduced myself.
Yeah, period. Speak on it.
So I'm gonna say like this: it's a genre, okay, and I'm understanding of that, and that's a reason why I've had a lot of success within my agency. Is just because not only do I have women who are beautiful, but they also are about their business. They're also smart as well. So it's like.
Yeah, and you don't have, it's not one, you have many different ethnicities and races that.
Yeah, no, and I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
I do that on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Women of color is like my biggest, the biggest thing I want to hype up. Like, it's one thing to just, I could have did all black girls if I wanted, honestly, but I like that I have so many different races and stuff. I'm able to appeal to different markets.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. So we've talked about experiencing colorism. Have you ever projected colorism? Like, have you ever, like, you talking to your boy, like, what? You know, when they call you light skin, you like, that's right. Like, they like the light skin. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever projected that?
No,
Y'all
I've
get my
always
question?
corrected it.
Let's get real.
I've always
Let's go.
corrected it on my end because I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was living in California, I was never like light skinned. I was brown because I was always in the
Okay.
sun or whatever. So I never really experienced that really growing up
Yeah.
until I moved to the South. When I moved to like my first year, I was in Alabama. So when I was in Alabama, that's when I experienced the whole light skin thing, and I did brighten up because I wasn't in the sun as much. So, not for real. So, but yeah. But no, I've
Okay.
never projected it. Not for real.
No,
I've always
yeah.
corrected it. I've always corrected. I've never projected it though. No, I always corrected it though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, really quick. Okay, so we're gonna, before we get into our next topic, we're gonna do our hot seat. Who wants to answer our hot seat question first? Cause let's do it for you. Cause you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose you. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, we already talked about that. I'm not gonna talk about questions we already talked about. Okay. This says, do you feel like you're holding yourself back by not unlearning what you were taught as a child and exploring other avenues?
I think I'm actively unlearning. Like, I got to a stage, especially when we had our son, where I had to really start to lean on things that I didn't understand. So in the scripture, it talks about that. I started reading the Bible a lot more. I started talking to my mentors a lot more. And it's a lot of my homies who may be on that path, but it ain't popping right now for them. They feel like, man, I ain't really trying to hear all that. I ain't trying to hear all that spiritual stuff or that deep knowledge of self stuff. But like, when you know you got somebody else to be responsible for, then I had to actively pursue that. So I don't feel like I'm holding myself back right now, but if you would have asked me that 2 years ago, I'm still in the mix, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like a lot of our men are holding themselves back? Do you feel like you see that majority more than you see them trying to unlearn?
Yeah, I mean, that's the setup of society. Like, it's always gonna be.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking, what do you see?
And I'm telling you.
Okay,
you gotta
okay.
hear me
I'm
out.
sorry.
You know what I'm
saying?
It's always gonna be the 85% people that's not trying to hear that shit. It's gonna be the 10% of people that got it and don't do nothing with it. And then it's gonna be the 5% that's actually taking the knowledge and activating it. So you can't never expect the majority to be leading the masses. It's not gonna be like that. The majority got the minority to look up to, because those are the ones that's actually holding it down, that's being disciplined and doing the things they're supposed to. But if you always looking for everybody else to get on board, then you ain't never gonna lead the ship.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like your partner practices that too?
My partner is the most ambitious, loving, strong woman that I know. Like, she.
Point her out.
I had to shout you out real quick.
Where's
I
she
knew
at?
he
Point
was
her
gonna
out.
go. I
Point
knew
her
he was
out.
gonna go in, so I had to shout you out real quick.
Nah, for real, cause like she get up and grind. She go get it.
Yeah.
And we come from St. Louis. Like, you can look on the news and see what St. Louis about, but it's also about a hustler's mentality. I met her in college. She was about her education and not just no rinky-dink knowledge. She trying to become an engineer. So that immediately, my head was like, man, she on that. She on math and science. That's what I like too. She about our numbers. She about our business.
Yeah.
And so we are a reflection of our partner. If we don't choose the right person to go through this journey of life with, it's gonna crash. You're gonna crash out no matter how beautiful you think she is or how much money you think that nigga got. Like, if y'all not growing together, it ain't gonna work. So she is absolutely mine.
Great answer. But at what age do you feel like you decided that you needed to start to unlearn certain behaviors?
29 is so it was me knowing, like, I'm about to be 30. It's like, shit, you gotta grow up, man. You can't be on the same things that you thought when you were in college or even when you was in your mid-20s. And I learned that if you don't really unpack a lot of the things, unpack the emotions and the trauma, you're gonna bring that into your relationship, into your household. So you ain't gonna have no peace where you expect to lay your head because you ain't took the time to really dive in and understand who you are. So I definitely, this last couple of years, I've been on that wave.
Do you feel like, Prince, I'm asking you, how old are you?
25.
Okay. Do you feel like you're at a point in life where you're trying to unlearn certain behaviors too, or do you feel like that's not something you really think about?
Yeah.
Right. I really want to know.
Yeah, I do. So I at different points in my life, like I just got out the Army, so I've seen a lot of different things, and I feel like in my experiences with that, yeah, I always like how his story, like I have cousins that's like not like you, like older than me, and I grew up around them, and I was always the younger one, and so like the stuff my mom was feeding me in my ear to always pay attention, and I had younger siblings that I like partially took care of because of an absence of a father in the home at one point in my life. So like I always had to like be on guard and be aware. So me personally, yeah, I've always felt like I've been ahead of like my peers in that aspect, yeah.
Yeah,
Because a lot of them, they're stuck like on that 85% that he was talking about. A lot of them are like that. I'm like, bro, like, no, that's not like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of that comes from their pride or the insecurities or however they grew up too as well. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your shoes is fire, bro.
Thank you. I'm good. I don't really necessarily think it's about unlearning. I think it's more so about growing and adapting. Because, I mean, even with unlearning, I still think that, I don't know, with learning, that's what kind of shaped who you are. You learned, you grew from that. I don't think that unlearning is the answer. I think that it's growing and adapting, you know. What did you learn from that? How did you grow? How are you different? How are you going to do it different next time if you're in the same situation? So that's how I feel.
Absolutely. We had a, thank you for that. Thank you. We had a question come in. We're getting into our next topic because we're on red, but we had a question come in that said that the media or TV shows, things of that nature, show the division of families a lot, and de-escalate the masculine man. Am I making sense? Are you following me there? And I wanted to get a little deeper into it. So who here has seen Wakanda? Wakanda. The new one. I didn't
pass the vibe check.
I haven't seen it, but when he had said that, when I had the message come in, and this is coming from a man, just so my women know, so we can have a good conversation about this. But when he had said that, I was like, you know, de-escalate. First of all, do we see often, a lot of times, TV or the media show the family dynamic being separate? Mostly in the black families. What do y'all think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah, for sure.
And that was going to be my next question. Do we think it's mostly in the black race or in other races, but mostly in the black races, right? And so, like you were saying, what we see in society. What?
Race.
Yeah.
That's why it's a reason. Like, stay woke. Please don't think that it's a reason that every time you turn on a TV show and it's a black family or something, or you see something with black men being emasculated, they're the strongest men. It is what it is. It is what it is. So it's like, please, again, just don't think it's a coincidence when you turn on your TV and you see these things. So to know that is to understand the power within that.
So I'm going to go off this and then I'm going to let you guys kind of come off this. But this says, Wakanda forever. Throughout the whole movie, black women are considered to be the leaders and the warriors. Black men had little to none empowering moments. Also, they snuck a scene with two black women openly acknowledging that they are lesbians, but there are no black heterosexual couples. They also portray the woman as geniuses as well, and not the men. So basically empowering the woman and kind of de-escalating the man in the movie. Whoever has seen it, do you understand what the person is, I want you to say something though. Wait, you raised your hand, come on.
But can you hear me? When I first watched it, that's the first thing I thought. I don't want to mess it up for people who haven't seen it. Well, I mean, y'all know, like, the original Wakanda passed away, and so in the movie they talk about him, you're killing off the man, now somebody else who was not a man is, you know, taking place. And you're right, all of the people who, it gives a precedent of women, you know, running the household, being in charge, having power, making decisions, when, in my opinion and what I believe is, it shouldn't be that way. It should be, women should not be the leaders. Women should not be the ultimate decision makers. That's not a position that we should hold or that we should even have the responsibility of. And when you put it that way, where it's almost like you don't have no choice, and I think that is what, you know, I would say America is trying to paint. It's almost like we don't have any choice but to be the strong woman. It's not that, you know, we want to be this independent, strong, wearing every hat, but we don't have no choice, and that's what that movie
It's showing.
is displaying.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Can we get the microphone back to him while Prince is saying something? Thank you.
I just don't know if anybody like just knew. I'm not saying like she's wrong or anything, or like I'm just saying like also like in the comic, like he also does die in the comics. From what I heard, I don't really know it, but one of my friends told me that like she also like she's supposed to do that, and like they were gonna do it anyway. If he didn't pass away in real life, they were still gonna like do that.
So they had to
Because
figure
it's a
out,
part
and
of
that's
the
what I
comic.
thought too. But still, though, it's still I feel like it's still an agenda,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying.
But really quick, you were talking about how you feel like the man should make the decisions and things like that. Never mind. Just go ahead. No, because I was gonna call.
I gotta say something real quick. I understand what y'all saying, right? But when you look at society, the black woman is the leaders. The black woman started the Black Panther Party. They started, even Martin Luther King, his wife was the one handing that, she was the one behind it. So I feel like they did kill the black character off, but they highlighted the black woman, which in my eyes is God,
I love that for us.
right? I feel like the black woman is God. So, yeah, it should have been a stronger man, more man scenes, but they gave you what the world is made of, is black women. And you gotta understand that. Every strong movement, it was a black woman running it. The Black Panther Party was it wasn't a man, it was women. Martin Luther King, he was cool, it was a woman. Coretta, all this, it was women. So I get it, but understand y'all power. Y'all are God.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
Understood.
y'all God.
What you think? Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
And Black Panther, like, it highlighted the men so much. I feel like, it ain't no fun if the women can't have none.
Well,
like,
yeah.
what
Well,
are we doing? Like,
and one woman was like, I just feel like we're getting our power back. It's not 1950s no more. Like
it's being recognized.
Like we speak about when women, I feel like this is where we gotta kind of take accountability. We speak about how no, let me not say that. Yes.
I feel like this is going to be very controversial, but
No,
I
we
feel
like
like it's the same thing, but it's a different propaganda. Because before this happened where the men were emasculated or the men were taken out of their roles as men, and that happened with the crack era. A lot of the women were left raising these children alone. They were being incentivized to raise their kids alone, like they weren't able to get assistance if the man was in the house. And so therefore the man was pushed out. Now the men are being pushed out, but it's just a different, they're masking it in a different way. Because the black man, and I don't feel like a woman should be in a role as a leader. I feel like the man is biblical. I feel like the man is supposed to lead and the woman is supposed to follow. And I think because of that, we are being, I guess, it's something going on where they're like blinding us and they're showing us when our men are being men, such as Kyrie Irving. How they publicly humiliated that man, but then you have other men who are dressed up, and this is no offense to nobody because everybody can do what they want, but they put in our faces black men who are dressed in women's clothing, black men who are, acting like women or, doing all of this feminine stuff. But then when a black man is in a role of power and he speaks and he acts within his role of power, it's a problem. And they have to chastise him, and they do it publicly. And I feel like I don't think that even with the movies, like the women are constantly, and I granted, women are bomb. We don't need nobody to tell us that, but it does help. Like, it does feel good when we're celebrated. However, I don't think that we should be celebrated at the expense of our men. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have one small comment because I know that, I don't know where he is, but he said that, women were, Coretta Scott King, all these women who are behind these men. I think that's a woman's role. I don't think that we should be the face and the leader and the speaker, but us as women should be next to our men. We should be feeding that. We can contribute. We can be the brain, the, creative, the whatever, but it's not for me to, especially if I have a man, for me to be the one, the face, and to be, the provider.
Well, I need you to explain that when you talk about the face, because what do you mean by that? Because
to represent me and my family, me and who I stand for, what we represent, what
so
we're doing,
you don't feel like you both
out.
could represent your family and what you guys stand for?
Yeah, we both can.
We couldn't both be the face?
We can both be the face, but I think it just goes back to biblical. Maybe it's just belief, but it should be the man, the woman, and then your children. The man, the woman, and then your children. So we can, and sometimes, the woman will take lead and the woman will be doing something that the man is not able to or can't do because us as women have power that men don't, and vice versa, men have power that women don't. So there are times, however, I think that if it comes to a time where we have to decide, it's going to be the man, in my opinion.
So do you guys feel like there is a such thing as a true alpha woman?
Yeah. Amongst alpha women.
And amongst and I guess so. Then being an alpha woman doesn't. I think a lot of people have a misconception, whatever, of the meaning of a woman being an alpha. Do you know what I mean? Because when you first hear that, you're like, I'm an alpha female, like. And you tell a man, I feel like if you tell a man that, I'm an alpha female, you feel like he's going to, 9 times out of 10, he's going to stay or he going to run?
He going to run. Because you have to know how to be an alpha. You can't.
So what do you feel? If a woman,
I can be an alpha female and still be submissive.
No,
let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is like, so, I know you on a dating site, like Hinge or something. You got that's
Wait,
no
what?
disrespect. I mean, there's no disrespect.
No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay,
what's the
if
question?
You're on a dating site, right? You meet somebody in the DMs or whatever, and you guys are talking back and forth, and she's like, you're like, describe yourself, and she's like, I'm an alpha female. Like, how are you gonna how do you take that?
I like those. Those are the ones I look for. I'm not joking. You can ask my friends. I'm not.
No, I'm just meaning like
a boss deserves a boss. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
My
strong
mom
man
is a boss.
has a strong
Okay.
woman. No, a stronger
But
woman.
there's only one alpha. There's an alpha and there's a beta. So if you have 2 alphas in a dynamic, they're going to clash. So an alpha woman amongst other women can be the dominant woman. But if you have a dominant woman and a dominant man, you guys are both fighting to be alpha.
But why can't we be alpha in our own worlds? Like, because I can still be an alpha
But
woman in a
we don't
relationship.
have roles though. At that point, we don't have roles
men,
in a relationship.
respectfully.
I mean, there are some men that are more dominant than. So I think it just goes back to there are different calibers of
There's
men
levels to it.
and caliber of women, exactly. So amongst other women, typically I'm an alpha woman. I mean, I am an alpha woman, so amongst other women, that's what I come off as. Now, there are men who I am more dominant than. There are men who are more feminine. There are men who, and that's their preference. There are men who don't want to be, the leader and the dominant and these things, and that's fine. But that's not for somebody like me, other alpha women.
Right.
So, but I think it goes back to if you want an alpha male and you want somebody, a lot of women, I think they contradict themselves because you want this man to play all of these roles, but you at the same time don't want to submit.
You don't want to be the beta to it.
Yeah, you don't want to be the beta to it.
But not out of all the men that you've Will, you have something to speak on that before I go on, because I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this alpha woman thing is. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so like being an alpha woman, that's cute, and I think about like, but look, when it comes to a relationship though, what are you trying to stand on? What you trying to be on the front lines? Like if something really go down, and I'm talking about safety wise, you in danger. You don't think about no butt. you really want to run out in front of your man. That's what you want
Call
to
me
happen.
woman king, because we're both out here about to protect the fort. Like, what are we talking
I'm
about?
asking you a question. You want to run out in front of your man.
No, I wouldn't.
you, do you?
No, I wouldn't. I
So,
would.
so what are
Where
we
the kids
talking
at?
about? So
But I'm saying so that's what I'm saying.
Like,
it has,
I really won't.
It has many different revenues into what we're saying, because, and that's what I'm saying. People's perception of alpha female or is different.
So if, if this whole studio burned down and your nigga with you, is you gonna grab this nigga and take him to safety?
No.
No, because
I would
you
hope
don't.
he'd be grabbing me.
Exactly. And so like that's why I say it's cute. Like when y'all talk about being an alpha woman, but in a relationship, y'all ain't trying to be no alphas.
So why do you feel like? Let's talk about this then. Why do you feel like women and men have a problem? Like women nowadays have a problem with wanting to be that alpha female to a man.
Cause y'all want to be the alpha, but don't want to admit y'all want to be with a soft nigga.
No, because the man isn't leading correctly.
The
man isn't leading correctly.
But then when he does, then what? Then what? Then they still don't do it. They still don't do it.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. If a man that I am with, I feel like is leading me correctly, I'm gonna be whatever that man is asking me to be.
That's why you got to, like that's what she said. You
got
to
to
pick. You got to pick all right. But you still,
Whatever.
that's what you picked. You have to pick that. You know what I'm saying? I have a choice. I have the choice to choose that. I see she's like that, or I see somebody that's not like that. I have to choose that. That is your choice. It's on you at that point.
Say that again.
It's your choice. You have to choose that. Once you recognize that, oh, he's an alpha man, but he's also like this, but he's a bit soft. Then that's your choice to pick between the two.
Yeah.
It's not
but
I'm gonna stand on what
even
I'm
deeper than that, bro. Like it's not their choice to choose. You got to attract that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you have to actually be about what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Don't be about it because it's cool on social media, on Instagram, on Snapchat. Like, nah. Because when it really come to it, no, a lot of people don't be like they fold.
But what we're talking about is the person that's leading the household. That's showing that, right? That's portraying that, right? It's supposed to be your man, right? Yeah. That's what we're saying, right? Women out here, you guys are looking for a man that can show you something, right? Or you looking for a man that, you know what I'm saying? But the same thing for the man, though. You can show you looking for a woman that can show you something, too. And it's two.
What you bring to the table. I bring this, and you bring that.
Right.
And we coexist. You're my partner.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, though, like.
I don't agree with that.
What?
What part?
Like roles? Like you don't agree with us having roles?
I agree with roles. Yes, I agree with that. But
so you don't say, you saying she's not your partner? That's what you talking about?
Like a partnership is when we are boyfriend and girlfriend. When we get married, I got this. Like I need your advice, I need your guidance, but the ship going down is on me. It ain't gonna be no, man, this shit done crashed out and I hope you got us, baby. Like, I'm not living that type of lifestyle. If it happens, God forbid, I know I got a strong enough woman for that, but I'm not going into this like, man, I can fuck around a little bit because I know she got me too. That's not what we doing.
So you said when you're dating and things, you know, that's cool and all, but when you're married, it's a different level. Yeah. That's what you're saying. So when you're dating and things and you're courting your person or whatever, it's okay for you to be depending on your woman to pick you up and, you know, take care of everything.
I'm saying
when you're dating.
So put it like this. My fiance, before we got engaged, she cashed out on a date before. And I was like, hell yeah.
But I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about taking care. I'm not talking about
that's
that.
The level
though.
He's saying.
You're talking about the ship go down, blah blah blah. So what you're saying is when we're dating, at that point you need to just be worried about your ship, and I need to how does that?
Yes.
But
like what age you talking about dating? You talking about like?
I'm just saying. At what age did you get engaged?
At 30, 31.
And how long were you dating?
We were dating since college.
Shit, so that whole time then.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That whole time then. So that's what I'm talking about. So that whole time that y'all were dating.
Right.
If shit were to go down between y'all, cause I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Cause a lot of people don't even get married.
Like would she
and
expect,
it's the same.
Like she wouldn't expect me to take care of her if we would have broke up in 2015.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you married and y'all break up, you still expect that nigga to kick a check to you every month.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know if I got my point across. Did y'all understand?
I didn't get my
asking?
point across. No, I'm crying.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I hear you. All right. Let's do another hot seat question. Oh, we're done. Oh damn. We can't do a hot seat question for the go.
Yeah, because I didn't even get to answer.
It's
She let the boys
10:32.
answer the other one.
Yeah, we could. Let's just do one hot seat question. Just one. And we're gonna keep it to a minimum. Y'all want to do one hot seat question?
Thank
before
you guys
we
for
go?
being here.
Or y'all good to go?
We'd be all night.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. Okay.
Damn, Gina.
Yes, sir, boss.
You know what? I got my own hot seat.
They go to Alpha right there.
Okay. If you cook, who you feeding first? Your husband, your kids, your mama?
This was a hot topic on Instagrams.
I want to know.
No, so honestly, I'm going to feed my kids first. So I make everybody's plates. I feed my kids first, and then like the way my man is set up, that's to be expected. So
that's what y'all
it's gonna be the kids for me, and then I'm gonna bring him his plate right next. But let me go ahead and set them up so I can come eat with you. Because that's the whole thing. I could feed you first, but it's like, don't you want to eat with me?
Like, wait till I'm ready to eat.
Okay, so let me get right. I've been cooking. I've been cleaning.
Who get mad and be like, hey, don't
now let's
eat
eat
like
together
I'm sitting
and watch
down.
Netflix. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. What is that? How you would want it to be?
So I'm learning, right? So like, for real. When I was like probably a year ago, I was like, nah, she better cook my plate first, have that ready to go. But like, since we had our son, it just feel like different energy, you know. And so like, especially he nursing, so of course he always on that, and now he's starting to sit in the high chair and eat. So it's like, yeah, get little man right, you know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna sit in and get our food. So I think it's just about not trying to force what you think society is and feel the vibe in your household.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's all the time we got. But thank you guys. I appreciate y'all for interacting with us. Thank y'all for coming. We got a little bit more time, not much. Take pictures, get your last little follow me, network, thank the host. We'll take a couple pictures, and that's it. We out. Thank you.
We got some smoothies too.